Forgive the mirror. The first thing Evelyn noticed when she entered St. Celeste Rehabilitation Center was the silence. Not peace, but the kind of silence that listens back. The halls were immaculate and pale, the air perfumed faintly with antiseptic and lavender. Every door bore a name, every mirror seemed to breathe. She had come willingly, or so she told them. The public called it a nervous exhaustion. The papers said Fallen Star seeks redemption. She called it what it was: escape. From the flashing cameras, from the endless scripts, from herself. But the mirrors, they didn't let her escape. On her first night, she caught her reflection lingering after she moved. It stared back, eyes sunken, hair dull, a version of herself she didn't recognize, or perhaps remembered too well. Sleep deprivation, the nurse said kindly, adjusting her IV. Your mind is just tired. But the reflection whispered that night. When the ward fell quiet and the moonlight pooled across the tiled floor, Evelyn heard it. A rasp, like the scrape of dry leaves. You've been here before, it murmured. Therapy began the next morning. Dr. Vale was a quiet man with sharp eyes and a voice that folded around words like cloth. Tell me about your work, he asked, pen poised. I'm an actress, Evelyn said automatically. You've seen me. He smiled faintly. Perhaps. But tell me, do you remember your last role? She opened her mouth, but no words came. Her mind showed flashes, camera lights, laughter, a dress of sequins. But no sequence, no film. It all felt staged, rehearsed, borrowed. When she looked at the mirror beside his desk, her reflection looked older again. The skin slackened, the eyes dull with loss. The reflection's lips moved, though she had not spoken. Tell him, it mouthed. The nights became unbearable. The mirrors whispered constantly now. In the bathroom, the therapy hall, even her bedroom's dark corner. She tried covering them with towels, but she could still feel her other self standing behind the glass. One evening, as rain tapped softly on the window, she saw movement. The reflection was no longer mimicking her. It stood apart, trembling, its mouth opened, and Evelyn heard the sound before she could see what memory had been unsealed. Memory hit her like shattering glass, sudden, violent, inescapable. The sterile walls of the ward dissolved, replaced by the suffocating scent of rain and gasoline. Headlights cut through the darkness like jagged blades, reflecting off the slick asphalt. She could feel the steering wheel beneath her trembling hands, the vibration of the engine, the weight of liquid courage pulsing through her veins. Then, the scream, high, human, and heartbreakingly familiar. The car lurched, metal twisted with a sickening crunch splintering into the night. Time fractured, a kaleidoscope of flashing lights, broken glass, and the metallic tang of blood. Through the smoke and rain, Evelyn saw her sister's face, pale, illuminated by the dying headlights. Her eyes, wide with terror and betrayal, locked onto Evelyn's for one suspended second. Then silence. The kind of silence that sinks into the soul and never leaves. The world faded back into the sterile white of the ward. But the echo of that night, the scream, the crash, the smell of iron and rain, clung to her like a second skin. Dr. Vale found her the next morning, sitting before the mirror in her room, unmoving. Evelyn, he said softly, crouching beside her. She's gone, Evelyn whispered. I killed her, my sister. I was driving. Dr. Vale's pen stilled. Evelyn, your file doesn't mention a sister. Her gaze rose to the mirror. Her reflection, no longer aged or broken, was smiling faintly now, tears in its eyes. Behind it stood another figure, faint and flickering, a young woman with rain in her hair. Evelyn reached out to touch the glass. Forgive me, she breathed. Her reflection's lips formed the same words. Then, for the first time, They moved together. One and the same. The next morning, the nurses found her bed neatly made, the room silent. The mirror was cracked through the center, a single hairline fracture splitting her reflection into two. And if anyone stood before it long enough, they could swear they heard a voice, soft, broken, and finally at peace, whispering from behind the glass. I remember now.